Hey, welcome back to VCS Connect. I'm your host, I'm Davpa. Hey, I just need to speak to 1 second to you. Yes, you out there. What are you doing? You're not subscribed. You're watching the material, and don't you change the channel on me. Don't you try it. No, 70% of you guys are out there watching this stuff, but not subscribed. So do me a favor, hit subscribe and hit the like button. That really helps out a lot. Well, now that we got that out of the way, hey, we're going to talk about Yars Recharged. This is a remake of the 1982 Atari 2600 original Yars Revenge, and this really kicks it up a notch. The basic premise is still the same. You have the Quotals who are attacking the Yars. You are a Yar, the spacefly, and you have to uh, destroy the Quotal cores, okay? And most maps will have one Quotal enemy with a bunch of smaller uh, uh, offensive cores. They're called Silurat cores. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that properly. That are constantly attacking you. And there's energy shields. And your goal is to gather energy by destroying enemies or eating shields or destroying shields and powering up your Zorlon cannon. All right. And then clearing a path so that you can shoot your Zorlon cannon and hit the Quotal. All right. It'll make more sense when we start doing some gameplay on there. But that's the basic premise, which is very similar to what it was in the 1982 Yars Revenge. Very similar, but certainly the Yars Recharged has upped the ante in that. Different maps, different configurations. Sometimes there's multiple Quotal cores, and just a variety of enemies and weapons being fired into patterns and configurations that sometimes makes the brain hurt a lot. Now, I'm going to be playing on the modern controller versus the joystick controller. The joystick controller, I have a hard time playing Yars Recharge with the joystick controller because while I love the being able to rotate the Yars with a little more precision on there, I have a hard time rotating and navigating at the same time. It's the same thing with Black Widow. If you like using the the joystick controller with Black Widow with the rotating and moving at the same time and firing, you will like Yars Recharged with the joystick. I don't have a good coordination with that for Black Widow, and I find I don't have a good coordination with this in Yars Recharged. I like it with the modern controller as a twin stick shooter. And so that's what I feel comfortable with, and that's what I'm going to be doing here. So I'll tell you what, let's get into the gameplay, and then I'll be explaining more as we go along. Okay, here we are in Yars Recharged. We're just going to start with some arcade, the basic I'm playing, and then we'll do a couple missions. We'll pick a couple hard missions here. So you can, like in Gravatar, you have some different things that you can choose to make the game harder. Hyper, everything gets at more of a faster pace. Not quite throttle monkey fast, but much faster. You yourself also fly faster, but all the enemies fire more frequently, and it just becomes a little bit, more frantic. Hunger just means that you basically lose all your ranged power except for when you charge up the Zorlon cannon. So you are limited to just eating, range, I guess hand to hand. And then heavy cannon just means you need I don't know if it's twice as much energy to power up the Zorlon cannon. I don't know what is it 2 times as 3? I would assume 2 times as much energy to do this. So these are some of the bonuses that you can add on, difficulty parameters that you can add to, make the game, more interesting, get a higher score and all that. I'm going to do none of that. I'm just going to play straight out. All right. And here's the first thing. So same, just like the original, same thing applies to this game. Your goal is to destroy the Quotal. All right. Now, what's different in this version versus the old one is that maps are going to change, right? And there's going to be a much more difficulty level. I'm going to zap. Okay. You typically have to hit the quotl twice, all right? In later levels and different maps, you have to hit the quotl 3 times. I haven't seen one where you have to hit the quotl 4 times. A lot of times you will see multiple quotls. Now, these minor cores, these weapons, kind of the replacement of the Seeker missile from the original game, they're called the Silarak cores, something like that. These are the minor cores. These are what gives you your power up, okay? So you, like this one here I'm about to destroy, this guy just shoots like 3 times. So you get like a triple shot for a short time. They don't last very long, right? This is going to be an all radius, just firing constantly, while your forward fire is much more, repeating. And just going to get through this here. Now, one thing to note is, when you destroy the minor cores, or the Silarak cores, I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Usually, they take down a chunk of shields that kind of surround them. It all depends on the map. They're all different, right? If you run out of cores or you run out of shielding, you can shoot the quotl and get little energy bulbs from it. All right. Everything you destroy, produces at least one little core of energy. And so when all of that is gone, if you get to a position where everything is gone, you can shoot the quotl core. You won't destroy it, but you will have give yourself some energy. And it produces a lot of energy. But what you want to do is make sure you are shooting it, not nibbling it. I find that it doesn't give energy, or at least it doesn't seem like it gives any energy when you are biting the quotl core. So be sure to give yourself a little space and shoot the core. Need to build a pathway to get to the... Now you can see the darker, or I should say the brighter the energy shield, the more hits it takes to destroy. All right, so like a very dark or pale energy shield just takes 1 hit, and as it gets closer to white, the more damage it takes. Right. So now shooting something. Notice how I'm shooting a darker core and it takes 2 hits. When you nibble at it, it just only takes 1 hit. So biting things is faster and does more damage, but it leaves you more vulnerable. Where versus firing from a distance allows you more time to dodge and things like that. This is one of the first maps here that you got to be a little patient. You can't just rush in. I find that just being a little patient, doing a bunch of damage, letting this guy rotate, really pays off in the end. Because one of the things that's tricky, when you look at the score, it always seems like there's only one set of scoring, right? And what I mean is this: if you look back on the video and see where I ended up on that very first screen, no matter what you do, it seems like that's the score you exit out of. Because when you destroy the quotl core, you get the points for, everything that you didn't destroy. All right. So sometimes it seems like, well, I no matter what I do, I get the same score, because if I sit there and take the time to destroy everything, I get that score. And if I don't take the time to destroy everything, I still get that score, because everything blows up in the end and I get those points. So why do I want to do that? Well, one of the things that you don't see factored in until the game is over are some bonus points and some part of the scoring. One of the big scoring is time. The faster you do a map, the more of a time bonus you're going to get. Also, that adds into your score is how many lives you exit out with on a level. So right now I have 3 hits or 3 lives, however you want to decipher that. And if I exit out of this map with all 3 of those lives / hits, I'm going to get those as bonus points at the end tally. So what seems at first to be, scoring doesn't seem to matter. It does in the end. It does in the end, and that's what gives the nuances. There are some things I kind of wish and hope that they change later on. Like, if I don't sit there and destroy like these couple cores after I destroy the quotal, I shouldn't get the bonus points for them, right? And so I do wish they would change that. I think that would add more nuances to the game. Do you go for the, do you go for the speed score, or do you go for destroy everything score? And as you can see there, I was only able to hit. I have to fire that off. I can't exit the cannon until I fire off all the energy from that. Now sometimes, you can see, I don't know how I dodged being hit. For this particular map, I find that I just need to get in there and just get those laser beam cores destroyed, because they're just spinning around and they're, not instant death, but they take out a life. Now, being hit by the swirl is slow compared to like the original game, right? And it's not super hard to dodge them. What starts to become really painful is, first of all, one hit and you're done, no matter how many lives / hits you have. If I have all 3 and I get hit by the swirl, game's over. It takes all your lives. So that's brutal. Where it really becomes a pain is, as you're going to see soon, certain maps where you have very little ability to dodge. You're like trapped in a maze of energy shields and obstacles and all that. And then those swirls are just deadly. And I'm going to eat these guys. Get this done. Need to make sure I have a clear path here for that. Oh, I shot the swirl. Dang it. Another thing I wish they would change is right now, if I shoot the swirl in midair, like in the old game, that would be the end of the round and I would get an extra life. There's no bonus to hitting it outside of one achievement. You get it and it's like, you shot the swirl in midair. I think that's actually what it's called. You shoot the swirl in midair. All right, here's one of the first maps that is like, this is where it starts to get really advanced, and even though I can pass this, sometimes I can't. Every once in a while, just stuff goes wrong. But you're going to see here in this play how the maps can get you trapped, and if you're not careful, you'll get yourself blown up, especially by the swirls. Easy to get trapped in there. Anyways, so the swirls, they don't give you any bonus points or anything like that. I kind of wish there would be a bit of a nod to the original game, that at the very least, maybe you get a hit or life back from hitting this, shooting a swirl in midair. I would love to see that. Right now, outside of, it's really more of a pain, that your shot which you meant to hit the quotal core is being blocked by the swirl, which that's a great function for it. But I kind of wish there was a little bit more of a nod to the original game, that there's something extra bonus to it, like, gaining an extra energy, gaining an extra hit or extra life on that. That would be nice. But I think, to be honest, I think that's a minor detail. But I kind of wish that was there as a nod to the original game. All right, I'm going to destroy some of these cores and get... Oops, I got one hit off of the guy. What's particularly painful about this map is that there are some of these shields that are going to remain. And there's this little halo of white cores that really can't be destroyed under normal circumstances, or it just takes friggin' forever to destroy them. And you can see them starting to crack, and if I just sit there all day long, I could probably, I can finally get it destroyed. But it just takes forever. In all practical accounts, they're undestroyable. Outside of destroying the associated minor cores that are like tied to them. And so I usually use the Zorlon cannon to... Alright, I ended that. Need to move on with life. Alright, here's one where it really matters which, doing some things in some sequential orders, because you're going to see here, there are these white cores, but if I destroy a lot of these satellite cores on there, it's tied to those. So you'll see these white cores starting to disappear. So you have to kind of clear yourself a path by the destruction of the minor cores. Ah! Almost got destroyed. You gotta pay attention. you can't sleep on things on this game. I should also point out that I am playing with the oh shoot, I wanted to go up. Dang it, I did the wrong thing. Let's adjust. Let's regroup here. Okay, got that back. What I wanted to do was one shot up and one shot down. Something like that. And then here. And do a whole mess of destruction. Whole lot of destruction going on. What's really nice and I really like a lot is that these power-ups stack. So for a very short time, they last a very short amount of time, but for half, a second or two maybe, I had the radial blast as well as the 3-shot forward blast. So I had them both going at the same time. They just don't last very long, so it's very easy to shoot. I hit a swirl that blocked my shot. So I'm just gonna shoot him, gather some energy, gobble 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 gobble. Get back into here, line up my shot, kaboosh, and there we go. And I have to fire another one to get out of there. Now, when you're sitting in the Zorlon cannon, that energy meter does wear away. It's not indefinite. So once you get into the Zorlon cannon, you have to fire off your shots, or you may run out of energy and not get a second shot. Oh boy. Okay. Here's one of the first of the really pain in the butt. There are three quotal cores that you got to destroy, and you've got a whole lot of things just wanting to hurt you. Ooh. And what's awful is this in the center quotal base. There it is. It was this very bright, looks like a bright bullet coming at you. That is some kind of I don't know, space mine or something like that. I don't know what they're referring to it as. You can shoot it, but when you let it just go and it explodes out, it just lays out this huge explosion. So I want to get rid of that, and it gives off an awesome destructive power. It's really kind of cool. And that one lasts very not long. It's like, oh, please last longer than this. Oh, ouch. I got hit. I got hit by that exploding big bomb. I'm losing a lot. I'm probably going to die. Now, this is the first level where there's 3 different versions of this map. So you're not always going to get this map. Shoot. Dang it. You're not going to get that particular map every time. There are 3 different variations of that, which is really friggin' awesome. So as you can see, shields destroyed, they tally that up. The core is destroyed, the quotal core is destroyed, and then your health bonus, right? So if you can exit a map with all 3 lives, all 3 hits available, you're just going to start racking up more points, right? So that's really cool. All right, so let's go back here and for leaderboards right now, I'm first place, right? Doesn't mean much because this is test mode, but I'm going to brag about it anyways. And then missions is just another levels that are on the harder end levels. Let's do air sea battle. This one's you know what? No, actually, let's do cross swords. I have to finish this. I have to do this one anyways. All right, we got a lot of stuff. One of the things I really do like style-wise is they give the warning of which, you see the powering up of those minor cores, and so you kind of know what's coming. And he dodged me. The slow-moving Quotal dodged me. Here we go. Here we go. I love seeing that. I know what's about to fire, and I think that's kind of that was a cool replacement of the and zoop. All right, got that. Trying to. All right, lots and lots. All right, let's see if we can't get rid of some of this stuff that's happening here. Just this heavy damage. There we go. There we go. That's. Yeah, come on, follow me. Now, of course, the swirl, like anything, is deadly everywhere, even in that little neutral zone that the Zorlon cannon has around it. You know, like the original, you can't fire out. You know, you can't fire anything but the Zorlon cannon. So you see, right now, I can't fire anything, but I'm safe for almost all weapons except the swirl. So swirl is always deadly. And what are you? Oh, back and forth. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. Okay. I got this guy. Oh, I need a little more energy. I'm assuming they're called Trons, because that's what they were called in the original games. These little energy bulbs are called Trons. Whoa, I missed. Dang it. Stupid moving Quotal. Stupid moving Quotal. All right, let's juice up here. Again, shooting the Quotal core provides you with energy. Let's and fire this before you. Oh, I missed! Can't believe I did that. Ah! To fire off the Zorlon cannon, you have to push to the right, and it's so easy to just kind of hold to the right and fire off both shots. Because usually you need to do that to hit twice on the core, so it's just bad habit of just boom, 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 and if you miss, you're like, oh, you just missed twice, and you feel kind of sad inside. All right, so there you go. So obviously I didn't do great time. I kind of fumbled around. I see I got no time bonus on there, but you know, this is what the missions are you know, just being able to go. Oh, I got an achievement. That's cool. Probably now I got all the available. I've used all the available power-ups that are available. All right, Sunfish. I remember Sunfish being quite evil. We'll do this and then wrap that up. All right. This is another one where you just got to be a little on the patient side. But you know, there's a certain amount where you can't be too patient because there's so much being fired at you, especially those big laser beams, and they get you trapped. And you lose a life. Ah! Ah! Rain of fire! Kaboosh, kaboosh. Okay, all right. Oh, I got hit. I got hit. All right. You know, let's take care of this guy up here. Let's get rid of this guy. Gives me more maneuvering room. Now again, nibbling is faster and does more damage than shooting at a distance. But you know, sometimes it's hard to tell when something's powering up or you're so close to something. It's ooh. All right, let's get you destroyed. Boom, boom. There we go. Ooh, almost collided in with another one. Oh, I didn't fire off. All right, let's get rid of this big heavy laser cannon. All right, we're in much better shape here. Don't have a ton of those big heavy laser beam blasters, you know, trapping you. Oh, I just missed. Okay. Some kind of rapid fire. There we go. There we go. I'm not the best twin stick shooter. I have a good I'm good at maneuvering my my Yar, but you know sometimes lining up my shot at the same time, not so great, not so great. Oh, 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 oh! Down to one life, down to one life. All right, you know what? Let's take care of you. Oh, one little shield was in the way. When you get that triple shot, it's like that's when the energy starts pouring in. But you can't get too cocky. Can't get too cocky on that. Oh, I should have not double shot that because that was could have put that one shot up here. Definitely not gonna get any time bonus on this completion. But for Sunfish, I'll take it. You know, map positioning is really important in this game. And there you go, Sunfish. It's one of oh right, I gotta exit out. You know, making sure you don't get trapped in areas where all of a sudden you got these crisscross beams. Just you know, that's the hard part of some of these maps is you know getting yourself trapped in a corner and then you're like, I got nowhere to go. I got nowhere to go. So yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of gameplay. So as you can see, a lot is going on with Yars Recharged. It's a pretty exciting game. I'm having a blast with it. Can't get too much further. I've gotten to like level 9 in this, and apparently there's about 30 different levels. So I haven't even come anywhere close to it. So Yars Recharged is an extremely good challenge that has a long life ahead of it, at least for me. Does. I don't see myself getting to level 30 anytime you know soon. It's going to take a little bit of time and practice to do these, and I think that's what the missions help with. That you know those missions are just the amped up later levels. So doing the missions is going to help me progress further along in the arcade mode, which I find is actually you know true. I've did a bunch of missions and cleared them out, and then when I got to them in the arcade mode, I was like, oh, okay, I know what I have to do. Still not easy. Knowing what you have to do is you know is only part the battle. The other part is actually doing what you know you have to do. So that's the challenge on there. But you know, I love it. I think this is a great game. I'm going to be playing this a lot. I'm a big sucker for Yars Revenge. I've always been a big Yars Revenge fan. So this one is just you know just right along with it. It's a near perfect game. You know, some of the things that I do wish, like I mentioned, you know, while I was playing, I wish there was still a couple nods and a couple mechanical things that they would tweak on there, like, you know, possibly the hitting the swirl in midair gives you, you know, recharges one of your lives or shields or however you want to call that because you get 3 of them per level. I wish hitting the swirl in midair kind of recharged one of them. I think that would be kind of a nod to the original game that I kind of wish they had. And some of those maps are so difficult that you know being able to come back, you know, use the cannon to hit the swirl so that you can progress further on that map would be really helpful and not I don't think you know overpowering or out of balance or anything like that. I think would fit right in there because some of those maps are just brutal. And I, you know, I've only gotten to like 9 or 10 of them. You know, I've gotten a third of the way through. So you know, something like that would certainly be helpful. Other things that I kind of slightly disappointed with the missions. You know, while the missions are great that you get to do these more difficult maps and not have to go through, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, a lot of levels to get to them. You can just jump into those difficult maps and enjoy them, and they're very enjoyable. I think there's a little bit of a missed opportunity where other challenges from past Recharge games just had slightly different mechanics. Like, you know, why not a Yars map where I had to gather so many points in a time span, you know, or things like that. I think they missed a little bit of an opportunity to just shake things up with the missions, and that's a little bit of a shame. But it outside of these, I mean, and those are really nitpicky things. Outside of that, I think Yars Revenge, they really did really capture the spirit of Yars Revenge, updated it and made it more challenging, certainly for more modern, players and younger players, uh, that it's great. It's a great game. So I think you're going to be really enjoying it and having a lot of fun. Again, a few nitpicks that I wish they would do. So, it's like, it's not, it's like, it's just barely a home run versus, a clean out of the park home run for me. But I'm going to be spending a lot of time playing this and really just enjoying it. So I hope you guys enjoy that too. So, whatever your game you're playing, you enjoy it, and I'll see you out there, and I'll see you on the leaderboards too. Hey, if you liked what you saw, please hit subscribe and like. Just hit it down below. What are you doing? No, 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 no. The like button. That's not how that works. You got to hit it down there. Who are you looking at? Who uses light mode anymore? What the hell's going on?
The Atari VCS has an official Discord server. Join the community with fellow VCS owners and chat directly with game developers. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter @the Atari VCS.